Okay, web design, we're going to be working on an ongoing project. We're going to create, develop, design a full-blown website. We're going to do it all from our computer, but we're going to back it up. I'm going to use SourceTree to back this up. So, what you need to make sure you download SourceTree, which I just showed you there. You are going to need to get an account on Bitbucket. Okay, now I have other video tutorials that talk about doing this. SourceTree works hand in hand with Bitbucket. Okay, so you can create an account, and you're going to want to get that all set up. And then once you have this set up, I'm going to assume we're just going to start from here. I'm in SourceTree. I'm going to click a new tab. And what I want to do is, if I already had a repository, a project that I was managing on my computer, it would find it in here. But I need to create one because I have not made this project yet. So I'm just going to click plus to create, and I need to find a location for this. Keep it organized pretty well. I'm going to go into Documents. I have a web design folder. And I'm just going to create a new project. And I'm going to call this the website design project. Okay. Now, if you want to give it a fancier name or whatever, that's fine. Okay, so I create the folder and I select it. Okay, so then I click select folder. Now, for a repository, there are some rules you need to go by. You need to make sure there's no capitals. I'm going to change all these to lowercase. And I'm going to call this a mobile first. I'm going to use dashes. And website is kind of obvious, so I'm just going to call it mobile first web design project. Pause for a second here. So notice no uppercase, no spaces. You can use dashes like you see in between these words, or you can use underscores, or you can just make it all like one giant word, which is going to be not very readable. You're going to select Git, because that's what we're doing. Oh, you have to have Git installed on your computer. So if you're doing this from home, and let's say you already have this, you're at school and you have all this software installed, you're going to need to install Git, and you're going to need to install SourceTree, and you'll need to have a browser. So I'm going to choose Git. I'm going to check this box, and it says create repository and account. So I've done nothing yet. So I've created my folder. I check create repository and account. And then I've actually connected to 2 different accounts. Once you're connected to Bitbucket, if you want to do this on GitHub, you can add an account. But I'm going to go to Bitbucket, and it should know that I am the owner, and it does. And then I'm going to go ahead and write a quick description on what my project's going to be. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a description. It's a mobile-first web design class project using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. If you want to add different descriptions, that is up to you. I'm going to check the box that says is private. Now, on Bitbucket, you can have unlimited private repositories. I'm making mine private just because I don't want people just always grabbing my code. I want you to be able to kind of follow the tutorial and walk along. The Atom editor that we're going to use for designing this does so much of the work for you. You shouldn't have much trouble. But if you do have a lot of trouble and you're one of my students, please, please, please talk to me if you have any trouble. Now, at this point, you're like, where's the button? Well, there is no real button. All I have to do is hit enter, and it will create that repository. Well, my students have alerted me to the fact that they all have a button, but I don't. I don't know what's so special about them. No, I do know what's so special about them. But I don't know why I'm not special, too. But I've just learned that if I just hit enter, it works anyway. So I'm going to hit enter. Okay, as soon as I hit enter, creating repository. Or if you have the button that says you're special, click it. All right, at this point, pretty fancy, huh? Well, we have nothing to look at. We just have a folder. Let me just click this thing that says remote. And it's going to take me to that repository. Now, ignore all of this. Okay? We're going to put our bits in our bucket in a moment. Okay? So for now, I'm just going to Alt-Tab, go back to SourceTree. And I just want to show you, though, you can click remote, and it'll take you right there to the website. If you ever want to do any commands, like let's say you know Git and you know your commands and it's just faster to type them out, you click terminal and it opens up Git bash, and this is for command line. And so if you prefer command line, use it. Sometimes I jump in here just to do a couple things that it's easier to do than it is to do in SourceTree. You might see me do that, I don't know. Explorer will let me open up the project folder. There it is. Pretty exciting, isn't it? A folder of nothing. All right, so here's what we need to do. We need to go ahead and get started. Let's make our project. So we're going to use the Atom editor to create this. But I'm going to go ahead and copy the address path so I can get in there a lot faster. So I just click up at this window and highlight it all and copy that. Control-C or right-click and copy. I'm going to minimize this and go back here. Okay, I need to get the Atom editor. So to open Atom, I'm just going to type in here, Atom. I hit enter, and it's probably going to open up a bunch of other files I've been working on. So I'm just going to close all the windows. Close all. Oh, no, it doesn't. Okay, so there's this project folder here. So what I'm going to do is in Atom, I'm actually going to create it as a project folder. So I'm going to go to here, Atom. Once you have it downloaded, go to Atom, go to Add Project Folder. And then I'm just going to click on here and paste. Hit enter. You see, I can see that Git there. That's good. I'm in the folder, so I'm going to click Select Folder. And you see this website design project.git, and that's it, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create our first file. It's going to be a web page, and it's going to be like the main index file, which is the main home page. So what I do is I select that folder, I right-click, and I'm going to choose New File, or I can type the letter A. And at the top it says, enter the path for the new file. I'm going to type index.html, index.html. Okay, while we're in Atom, students were telling me how it's hard to kind of see this light theme. So we're going to choose a theme by clicking Choose Theme over here. And let me scroll down a little bit here. I'm going to click Open the Theme Picker. And you see how it says Choose a Theme? So UI is all the stuff around, but not the text. We use Atom Dark. And then syntax, whoa, we're going to make that Atom Dark too. For my students, to help their readability. And now I'm going to close everything. And I'm going to go to a website design project. I'm going to type the letter A. And I'm going to write index.html. And I'm going to hit enter immediately. When I click down here, I can see index.html. All right, because I saved it as HTML, I now have code hints. Yay! There was much rejoicing. And I type HT, I see HTML, I hit enter, and whoop, bam. There we go. In pretty colors. Is that more readable? Yeah? Okay, cool. All right. So here we go. It's got our website project. And at some point you might want to create a theme for this, but for now we'll call this the web. Yeah. I actually said that out loud, didn't I? Website project. Okay, because I like really original, ingenious titles like website project. All right. And we have the body. And so we're going to do some setup here in just a moment. But I just want to kind of get this stuff set up. I'm going to save changes. Now, like I said, we're going to make this mobile first. And so there's some setup we're going to do mobile first. And honestly, I'm a little bit sort of lazy. No, okay, wrong word. I'm a little bit efficient. And so I try to save extra work for me. There are some things I can remember, some things I cannot always remember. One of which is we're going to make this a responsive website, which means it will adjust based on the width of the screen. We're also going to make it mobile first. We're going to design for mobile, like handheld devices first, and then we'll kind of design for, say, larger widths, and then finally for a full-blown desktop type view. So we're going to do that, and we need to put a couple pieces into place to do this. Okay. Piece number one. We need another meta tag that is going to help reset the size of the text to match. Okay. And so I'm going to do that after the title, and I'm going to just type meta, hit enter. Ooh, okay, that's not the name I wanted. All right, I'm going to cheat a little bit. I'm going to go to CodePen, because CodePen actually allows you to grab this real easily. In fact, most of my CodePen should already have this. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to my browser. I'm going to type in here CodePen, and then I'm already signed in, so that's good. I'm going to look at my dashboard, pick one of my pens, and then check this out. So I click on HTML, and I'll show you the code in just a moment. Stuff for head, I click question mark. That's not the one I wanted to do. Scroll down a little bit. We no longer have this anymore. All right, I just had to zoom out. If you look on here, there's this insert the most common viewport meta tag. That's what I want. I'm gonna copy that right now, and I'll show you in a much bigger window here. By the way, you need to set word wrap on. It's called toggle soft wrap. So it's under view, toggle soft wrap. Okay, let me pause this here. So basically what this is Meta can do all kinds of stuff, right? Meta is just information about the web page. And so in this case, we have all kinds of ways of using it. The top one on line 4 sets the characters that we will support on our web page. And it's UTF, or Universal Text Format. 8 means that's how many bits. Don't worry about it. Just know that that's the characters we're using. And then down where it says meta name equals viewport, we're saying, all right, we're going to set a meta tag for the window that displays our web page. And we're saying we want to target the width of the device. So we're going to say the width of this HTML document will be however wide the window is. And this web page will be able to get the window width as a result. And then we set the initial scale to 1. And what this does is it sort of overrides, it makes it so that if you're on a small handheld device, the text will be a normal size. I don't know about you, but I would think that we've had mobile devices for like 10 plus years. You would think by now that you could go access any web page and have it readable. But no, I still go to these web pages and the text is so small, I have to zoom in. And then it doesn't fit on the screen. And you have to scroll from left to right. And it's a real pain in the butt. But if we set this, that makes it so the text will automatically size to whatever the default size is on that small handheld device. And this is the first most important step towards making both a mobile first and a responsive website. Okay? So that's absolutely essential. Okay, we made some changes. There's not much to look at. We're going to add a couple other pieces here. First thing here is we're going to create a tag, and we're going to create a tag that's going to allow us to center the page if it's a wide browser. It's going to give us some features that we can do, and we're going to create some sections for our page. So this outermost thing, we're going to create a div. Div stands for division. It is a block level tag. It's sort of generic. And we're going to call this, actually, let me think, what am I going to call it? Let's call it container, because it's going to contain everything on there. And then we're going to create, in it, we're going to create some sections. We're going to create a header. And we'll go ahead and give it a heading 1. And we'll call this website project. Okay, and we're going to leave that as it is. Okay. Now, by the way, you'll notice the body opens here, closes down here. We put this div, a container, inside the body. So I just want to point out a couple things. When you open the body, the next tag is going to be the div with the class of container. And then we're going to open a bunch of other stuff. And this closing tag is going to close the container. And then we're going to close the body. And so everything needs to go inside of this div from here on out, unless it's a JavaScript page. So inside of the header, we're also going to add a nav. And we're going to give this, well, let's wait for just a second. Actually, let's focus on the nav, because that is one of the things that we're going to do. Okay, so in our nav, let's also give this an ID that will allow us to target just this one nav. I think what I'll do is I'll give it a class of primary nav instead of an ID. Usually it's a good rule guideline that you can follow when you create something. If you're going to give it an ID or a class, and you don't know which one, it never hurts to give it a class. It's just a general guideline. Inside of our nav, we're going to create an unordered list of links. So we type out UL, type out LI inside of the UL, and we're going to create some links. We type A. I love this. You just type it out. Now for now, this first one is going to be a link to the home page. And so we're going to write home, like so. And we're going to do a couple more of these list items. And already it's like, wow, this is getting long fast. Yes, because we'd like to go fast. All right, LI, A. Now, we're going to keep the rest of these href equal to hashtag. We're going to leave them as hashtags for now. And then we don't know what our website's going to be about. So we can just put page 1, like so. We'll do one for page 2, or maybe we'll do an about type page. Page 2. I do know we're going to create a gallery, so let's create a gallery in here. It's going to be like an image gallery, because that's a lot of fun. I always like doing that. And then finally, we're going to have like an About Us page, like so. Okay. So you can pause the video and check out what I have here as my code. I'm going to zoom, I'm going to scroll down just a little bit so you can see. It doesn't quite fit within the body. I wish it did, but it doesn't. There we go. I just want you to know that all this stuff is within the body tag. Okay, once you've coded it out, make sure you save your changes, Control S. And now, like once you have this, you might want to go ahead and take a look at it. So you're going to launch this in a browser, and there's a couple ways you can do it. You can right-click and choose Show and Explore. And I'll open it here, and notice you still see the Git. Just double-click on there, and you should see something that looks like this. Pretty boring, right? But hey, we got to start somewhere. So once you have that, go back to SourceTree. So it's always a good idea to test. And the moment we go to SourceTree, we see there's index. And it's listed under unstaged files. There's another thing we're going to do here. We're going to create a new branch. Let's go ahead and we're going to drop this thing in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a commit message. If you don't see this, just make sure you're in that mobile first web design. Make sure you have file status clicked. Then you're going to click stage all, or you can highlight something and stage what's selected. But we're just going to do this because this is all we've done. And we're just going to put adding initial index page. Okay? And you want to check this box that says push changes immediately to. By doing this, you will save your project where it's at, and you will send it to the online repository. So you stage the file, make sure it's listed as stage file, then add your comment, check this box. If you don't check it, you're going to have to actually click the push button. And then you're going to click commit. If you have it like this, did you stage it? All right, well, I'll come over and take a look. Once I'm ready, I click commit, and it does this thing here. And when it's done, I'm going to click remote, and I can see, there it is, index.html. I can click it, and I can see my code. And that's what you want to do. Okay. So you notice what I did is I clicked remote once I staged it. If I click master and I double click over here, or I check log history, I can see a little dot there, and it says adding initial index page. And then when I go over here on Bitbucket Online, I see it there. And you can see I have a copy. I backed it up 40 seconds ago. Then I go over here. I'm going to leave this open so you can look at my code in case you haven't finished. Make sure you save your changes before you commit. Make sure you have that thing checked so you can send it to the online repo. And if you did all that, congratulations, you have begun one big long project that will end in amazingness. Yes, it will. I guarantee you. Stay tuned for more.